What are the indicators of well-being? Well, you're going to answer that question in this Grade 10 Geography inquiry. This is a set of instructions, so you'll keep coming back to it if you need to find out exactly what we need to do. So there's some essential questions. I would say that there's just like a theme running through this. So in the back of your mind, the questions that we need to be answering: what makes a good life, and what are the indicators of well-being? So what do you guys actually have to do? Well, there's 4 topics to choose from. I want you to get into groups of 4, and each one of you will select one of these topics. So here it is again. So I will be giving you a set of instructions. That's your inquiry sheet. As I said, I want you to get in a group of 4 and you allocate one topic to each member. And once you've done that, for example, the person that does population, they'll look at the background, impacts, and what could be done to improve well-being. So the link is always between your chosen topic and well-being. So they're the 3 aspects that you should research. Use the chapters from the text to help you with your research, and also there's heaps of stuff on the blog to help source information. That's not the only stuff. You obviously got lots of other bits of information on the web to access as well. So once we get to stage 2, this is where it gets a little bit different. I don't know if you've done this sort of stuff before, but essentially what happens is that, say for argument's sake, this is one I've generated randomly. In group 5 we've got Millie, Priya, and Beck and Ko, and Priya is doing gender equity and Beck is doing equality and so on. So that's their group, and they would have done their research. But now in this stage 2, I want everybody who's done population, so it might be, and this is just an example, all these guys, Pat, Sid, Lara, Caleb, Millie and Steph, they get together and they confer and share to make sure that they've got the right idea, they've got enough information, they've got good bits of graphs, tables and diagrams and all that sort of stuff. So you're well armed, ready to go. So once you've done that, you go to stage 3, and this is where you go back together into your groups of 4 again, and together what you have to do is to prepare a presentation to the class, and it's not to be more than 10 minutes. Right? But where this is a little bit different is that you'll need to plan to teach the rest of the class for the next 20 minutes. So you'll have half an hour all up. And you'll have to find other mediums or means to check other people's understanding, to engage people in what you're talking to them about. So you might have things like a quiz, a survey, other things like a video, other things which you think are going to engage people and help their understanding. So this is all in the preparation stage. So in stage 4, you're on stage, you're presenting to class. Remember, the aim is to teach, inform and engage. So a boring old PowerPoint with heaps of writing on it is going to put people to sleep. So use visuals, use different techniques. You know how you might learn the best. So try and engage the audience in exciting them and engaging them. And remember, the second part is also to interact and teach. So you might use the whiteboard. You might have something on the screen from the computer. The options are endless. Also, what I'd like you to do with all this is to submit your presentation electronically, so I can have another look at it as well and make some assessments. Talking about assessments, I'm going to assess you how well you communicate, both in the final product and how you communicate to the rest of the class and engage people, how well you explain yourselves, the data, images and interactive elements. With images I'm including things like maps, tables and diagrams. Because you're using electronic sources, you may have animations and things like that. It's got to be referenced, and you also got to show your interconnections between well-being and your chosen topic. So the theme is about well-being, but from your perspective of gender equity and so on. Also, I'll be looking at what sort of conclusions you make about how we can increase well-being in the future, and of course how well you're planned and organised, and that will be a crucial part of how you organise yourselves in a group. Remember that planning and organising doesn't only take place in the classroom. In order to do this properly, you need to be able to organise yourself outside the classroom. So therefore, you communicate via Facebook, via email or other means, but if you want to do a good job, you need to be organised and use your time effectively. Some people are worried about doing group work, but the way I'm going to assess this, for the whole group, I'm going to assess the communication, the visuals and the planning. And individually, what you submit to me, that I want you to submit electronically, will be how I'm going to assess how well you've explained yourselves, the data, the references, of course, the interconnections and the conclusions. Now, all these things will be talked about in your presentation, of course, okay, and I'm going to make some anecdotal observations, but there's going to be a whole group assessment and an individual assessment to make it fair. So for those people that have put in a lot of work, they're going to be credited for that, but also that'll come out in the whole group presentation. Okay, hopefully that's been useful to you. Obviously you can listen to this again and make sure that you have everything sorted so you don't forget any aspect of this inquiry in the way I want you to do it. Thanks for listening.